Help me hit 4,000 subscribers. Support the video with a like and share your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. Thank you. I always believed anniversaries were meant to remind you why you chose someone in the first place. For 4 years, I thought Claire and I were building something solid, something real. My family admired her. My parents adored her. And my brother always joked that I'd married above my league. Maybe that's why the humiliation hit so hard. When people believe your marriage is perfect, the cracks feel louder, sharper, and impossible to hide. It started subtly. Late-night texts Claire wouldn't explain. Sudden gym sessions she never cared for before. And a new perfume she insisted she bought, just because. I ignored it all, telling myself that couples go through phases. I preferred believing in temporary distance rather than confronting a truth I wasn't ready to face. But denial only works until the universe decides it's time for your lesson. Our 4th anniversary dinner was supposed to be a small family gathering at my parents' home. Warm lights, Claire's favorite dishes, the usual laughter that fills the house whenever my relatives get together. Claire seemed distracted from the moment we arrived, but I brushed it off as stress. I didn't want to assume the worst. I didn't want to believe the worst. Everything fell apart the moment he walked in. Jason, her ex, the guy she once said was toxic and the worst mistake of her life. I froze when I saw him enter through the backyard gate, carrying a bottle of wine as if he belonged there. My cousin had apparently invited him, not knowing anything about their past. Innocent mistake, horrible timing. But Claire's reaction? That wasn't innocent. Her eyes widened with excitement, not shock. She practically ran to him, and before anyone could process the scene, she wrapped her arms around him, leaned in, and kissed him. Full lips locked, like they were the only people in the world. My relatives gasped. My mother covered her mouth. My brother stared at me, waiting for me to explode. I didn't. Anger didn't hit me first. Numbness did. That strange, hollow feeling when your brain tries to protect you from shattering. Claire pulled away when she finally noticed everyone staring. Her smile vanished, but the damage was already carved into the room. She mumbled something about being caught in the moment, but nobody believed it. I certainly didn't. I walked out without a word, leaving her standing there with her guilt poorly masked behind excuses. She tried following me, but I ignored her. That night, I slept on the couch in my friend Ethan's apartment, staring at the ceiling and replaying everything. The humiliation, the betrayal, the public disrespect. I knew I couldn't let it slide, but payback didn't have to mean destruction. Sometimes the sharpest revenge is letting people reveal who they truly are. The next morning, I called Claire. Calm, steady, composed. So calm that she probably assumed I'd forgiven her. I told her we'd attend a charity gala her company was sponsoring that weekend. She loved social events and the attention that came with them. She instantly agreed, thinking it was my way of moving forward. But I had other plans. At the gala, I introduced her to several people she wanted to impress, executives, colleagues, and influential donors. I stood beside her, polite and supportive, just like always. I didn't need to expose her. I didn't need to confront her. I simply needed the perfect moment. And it came when her boss, a sharp-minded woman named Linda, asked how our anniversary celebration went. Claire stiffened. She looked at me, waiting for me to cover for her. But I didn't. I smiled politely and said, "It was unforgettable." Claire reunited with someone very special to her. Right in front of my entire family, actually. Silence spread across the table. Claire's cheeks flushed red. Her boss looked confused. A couple of her colleagues exchanged frozen glances. Claire whispered my name under her breath, begging me not to continue. But all I said was, I realized that night that I deserved someone who values loyalty the same way I do. Then I excused myself from the table and walked away. I didn't yell. I didn't embarrass her with details. I just planted the truth gently, letting it settle exactly where it needed to, among the people whose opinions mattered most to her professional life. Claire chased after me, panicked, apologizing, swearing that the kiss meant nothing, and that she'd lost control. But her words had the weight of feathers. I wasn't carrying them anymore. The next week, I served her divorce papers. She cried, begged, promised to change. But the moment she kissed Jason in front of my relatives replayed like a reminder I couldn't unsee. She tried telling everyone it was a misunderstanding, but the story had already made its rounds. My family knew the truth. Her coworkers knew enough. And Jason, he disappeared as quickly as he arrived. Months passed. I rebuilt my life piece by piece. Smaller apartment, fewer expectations, clearer mind. I learned that peace feels different when you've survived a storm you didn't cause. Claire occasionally sent messages, but they stopped when she realized I wasn't looking back. My payback wasn't loud, vengeful, or dramatic. It was simple. I let her lose access to the life she treated carelessly. I let her face the consequences of a moment she thought she could brush off. And I protected my dignity without ever lowering myself to her level. Sometimes revenge is nothing more than choosing yourself after someone else fails to. And that is a lesson she'll never forget.